Warm greetings to all students of Kids Planet School. Dear students, we are all well aware of the ongoing coronavirus pandemic and the series of lockdown declared by the government to keep us well protected. The lockdown has resulted in the shutdown of all educational institutions, and hence the management of Kids Planet School has decided to bring about a series of online lectures for various subjects on its YouTube channel to help with the academic progress of its students. I, Sheikh Tawfiq, will be your virtual teacher for geography subject, and let us now begin with our first lesson, field visit. This chapter is about the importance, planning and report writing of field visit. Field visit is an important study method in geography. Field visit help us in understanding various geographical concepts, elements and processes through direct experience. It helps in understanding the correlation between human and environment. It helps in enhancing the understanding and sensitivity about the historical, economic, social and cultural facts about the selected fields. As we know, if we see something, we believe in it, so we understand it more clearly. So when we go on a field visit and experience all the geographical beauty ourselves, we get to know them more profoundly. It is simpler to see and understand something if we can visit that place rather than only studying about it in the textbooks. So with the help of field visit, we get to know the place personally. We can roam there and we can learn several things about that place. So this is what field visit is all about. Along with geography, field visit also help us in understanding the history of our India, as we can visit various historical places and learn about them in detail. So that was the importance of field visit. Now let us see how should we prepare ourselves for a field visit. Deciding the place of field visit, deciding the purpose of field visit is very important. Preparing schedule for field visit, collecting location maps, permission letters, important documents, etc. related to field visit. Preparing questionnaire as per the purpose of field visit. Along with this, you should also have some essential materials like notebook, pencil, scale, compass, container, bag for collecting samples, maps, camera, first aid box and things to eat and drink while the journey. So now, as we have understood what is a field visit and what are the importance of it, let us see an example given in this chapter. In this chapter, Rahul is going on a field visit with his classmates and school teacher from Naldurg in Osmanabad district to Alibag in Raigad district. The school has engaged a special bus from state transport for this purpose. Rahul and his classmates have organized this visit under their teacher's guidance. Let's find out how the students are experiencing the changes occurring in the relief, soil, vegetation and human settlement as they travel from Naldurg to Alibag. But before starting our journey, we should remember several things. Obeying all instructions of teachers before the field visit, ensuring that one does not harm the environment in any way during field visit, collecting relevant information as per the purpose of field visit, which is the most important, because the field visit is not only for playing or enjoying the journey. Its main objective is to get us educational information from it. So now we start our journey from Naldurg to Alibag. The bus has left Naldurg and is on its way to Solapur, the first stop. Let us observe what changes take place alongside the road as we begin our journey. We have to imagine or assume that we are on a journey. Actually we are not, but we have to imagine like that. Our observation should be based on the reference to the points like relief. Relief means topography. In simple words, the structure of land, whether it is plain or rough. Yes, there are different types of lands. Not all land is of same size or relief. Water bodies. Water bodies simply means places of water like ponds, lakes, oceans, which we will experience in this journey. Vegetation. Vegetation means types of plant found in that particular area. As we all know, all the plants or all different types of trees doesn't grow all over the world. Yes, na? there are several trees which grow specifically in desert. There are certain evergreen trees which grows in the region of high rainfall. So what type of plants are found in that area is considered to be the vegetation of that particular region. Next thing is soil. Soil can be of various types. There are alluvial soil found near the riverbed. There can be red soil or black soil, which is good for farming. Next thing is agriculture. These basically are the points which you have to note down while writing your observations. Okay. As we move down for our journey, we have to write our observation on the basic of this point, that are relief, water bodies, vegetation, soil, agriculture, what people there cultivate mainly, human settlements and settlement patterns. Human settlements means how do people in that area live. Okay, the houses in all the area are not of the same types. We can see changes as we moved from rural area to urban area. We can see the changes in housing pattern. Settlement patterns are basically of three types. They are scattered, nucleated and linear. So what is scattered settlement? Scattered settlement means the houses are distributed roughly, means all the houses are far away from one another. This type of settlements we can see mainly in rural areas. In villages we see the houses are at a distance of 40 to 50 meters from one another. Okay, each house has its own ground which is very big. So such type of settlement is called scattered settlement. The second one is nucleated settlement. Nucleated settlements are towns where buildings or houses are close to one another. A nucleated settlement is a type of settlement where houses are gathered around a central point called nucleus. So because of the word nucleus, it is called nucleated settlement. Okay, we all know what is nucleus. Nucleus is the basic structure, okay, in which the main material is situated in the middle and all the other things are revolve around by it. So same in this type of settlement also. The central point depends on the location and its culture. It can be anything like a market or church, park, etc. The main thing, okay, on which the settlement is based is situated in the middle and all the other houses and all the other things are situated round by it. So that type of settlement is called nucleated settlement. Third one is linear settlement, which is a settlement where houses or buildings are built in a long straight line along the road or river or valley, etc. Most linear settlements are around the road for better transportation. In this settlement, the houses or buildings are based on a straight line. That means if there is a road constructed, all the houses would be built alongside the road. Okay, means on the left side of the road there would be houses, on the right side of the road there would be houses. Not only roads, there are basically that can be river also. As you can see, many ancient civilizations had been built along the river. Like if you take for example Nile river, okay, so on the borders or on the riverbed there are houses built. So that type of settlement is called linear settlement, in which we move along in a straight line. So let us now start with the journey then. Okay, as the bus moved, students have started experiencing changes in the topography. The roads are not plain. All the places sometimes there is a slope and some places have plain land. We can also see the small settlements along the road. As we started our journey from Naldur, we have started experiencing the slope in the land. Okay, actually not we, but the students can see it and experience it. We have to just assume. There are small shops and dhabas along the road. As they are moving from Naldur to Solapur, they are experiencing a slope land. As we move from Naldur to Solapur, we can see the slope in the land. Okay. As they are moving from Naldur to Solapur, they are experiencing a slope in the land, and also the settlement pattern is changed. Here they can see houses made of clay, mud, unlike in the cities. In cities there are more well built houses. Okay, cities में पक्के घर होते हैं और गाँव में जो घर होते हैं वो ज़्यादातर मिट्टी के या फिर लकड़ी और ये सारी चीज़ों के बने होते हैं जो कि कच्चे होते हैं. Here we can see dry grass. Also the trees have shed their leaves. We can say that this place have dry deciduous type of vegetation. As you can see, the vegetation type here is of dry deciduous type. The vegetation in Naldurg was of different type. After reaching Solapur, it is clearly visible that the type of houses are changed. Here, there are huge buildings, malls, factories. The roads are well built. Let us take a look at the vegetation here in Solapur. There was dry deciduous type of vegetation in Naldur, but here we can see mainly sugarcane is cultivated. It is because water is available here in huge quantity. Because good irrigation facilities, so sugarcane can be cultivated easily here. Sugarcane is a type of plant which requires plenty of water. So, because of the irrigation facilities, sugarcane can be developed here nicely. Nearby Solapur there is a river named Bhima, on which a major dam is built, known as the Ujni Dam. Moving away from Solapur, plain region can be experienced. Change in the type of vegetation is an indicator of change in the amount of rainfall in that area. In Naldur, the vegetation was of dry deciduous type, but here in Solapur, the vegetation is more like sugarcane and pulses. So we can assume that rainfall in Solapur is more in quantity than in Naldur. So let us now move to our next stop. From Solapur we have, so on our journey the next stop is Sinhagad. अब सिन्हागढ़ में पहुंचकर हम देखते हैं कि क्या नई जानकारी हमें देखने को मिलेगी. okay. जो क्लाइमेट नालदुर्ग का था वो यहाँ से बिल्कुल अलग है. क्लाइमेट में बहुत ही ज़्यादा चेंजेस आ गया है. नालदुर्ग का क्लाइमेट बहुत ही ड्राई और गर्म जैसा था, बट सिन्हागढ़ फोर्ट क्योंकि एक ऊंचाई पर स्थित है, वो समतल जमीन पर नहीं है. ओके, समतल मीन्स प्लेन. द नालदुर्ग एंड ऑल अदर cities or district which we have assumed was on plain land, but this Sinhagad area is situated on a fort, and because of the high altitude we can experience the chills in the climate. Okay, यहाँ का वातावरण ज़्यादा ठंडा है बाकी सब जगहों से. Moving away from Sinhagad, we are now going on Mumbai-Pune Expressway. On our way to Lonavala, we can see that number of houses are decreasing. It is because that Lonavala is mountainous region. Moving to Lonavala is also a mountainous region just like Sinhagad we just visited. So there are certain similarities in the climate and the topography of both the areas. Okay, we can experience mountains and hills and valleys along both the journey, along Sinhagad as well as in Lonavala also. As we move to Lonavala, we saw mainly pulses being cultivated at the places between Solapur to Pune, but now here the vegetation has changed. In Solapur we have seen sugarcane field, but now what we see mainly is paddy fields. Paddy basically means rice. Rice crops are cultivated more in Lonavala district. So we were discussing about the density of houses. As we moved in Lonavala, we experienced that the number of houses have been decreasing simultaneously. This is because of the mountainous region. As the land is not flat here, it is difficult to build houses or buildings here on this type of places. These mountains are a part of Western Ghats. We know this area as Sahyadris. The vegetation type here is deciduous type. We can see teak and several other deciduous trees in this region. So as we started our journey from Naldur, we visited Solapur first. We can experience the slope here as you can see. Okay, from Solapur we went to Indrapur, or as you can say the Sinhagad fort which we visited, which was situated near the Ujni reservoir. Yes na? After Sinhagad we visited Lonavala. The valleys of Lonavala we have seen and the mountainous area. Now we are moving our way to Alibag. As you can see, it is near a coastal area. So let's see what changes takes place near a sea or a ocean. What are the climatic changes that we can experience as we move our journey to Arabian Sea. Because of the nearness to the sea, we can assume that what would be the main occupation here. As you know, if the water bodies are nearby, fishing is considered the main occupation. So here also fishing was the main occupation, but here alongside fishing, agriculture is also very well practiced in the region. In the coastal areas, trees like banana, cashew, jackfruit, several spices are cultivated. After finishing the field visit, it is important to write a report to the visit. In this report, we can include all the changes that we saw through our journey. So with this, we end our journey. We started our journey from Naldurg in the Osmanabad district. Now we have reached Alibag, which is situated alongside Arabian Sea. Okay. All along the journey, we experienced many physiographical changes in the land, agriculture pattern, vegetation. All this information we have to write in our report. A field report should be written on the basis of information obtained after field visit is complete. Report writing is the important part of a field visit. Okay. Report writing is very important because field visit is not just for fun. We also have to learn something from it. So for that reason, we have to prepare a list of questions that we want to know the answers of. The questionnaire should be prepared before the field visit only. Like I said earlier, there were certain things which we have to decide before the field visit, like looking at the location map, and there were certain things which we have to gather. So the list of questionnaire was also there. So this questionnaire includes question which we have to find the answers along our way, like what is the vegetation there, like what type of climate we can experience. These are the things which we have to consider while writing the observation. The topography, relief, soil structure, what type of food the people there eat. These are the things which we get to know the answers of during a field visit. So with this, our journey has come to an end. Can't say about you, but I had a very wonderful journey traveling from Naldurg to Alibag in this lockdown. Hope so that you should also experience the same thing from this lecture. If you have any doubts or queries, contact us on 9619768527. Your doubts will be solved individually by our online system. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video. Stay home, stay safe.